So what's happening behind the scenes is the simplification of a lot of complexity into 10 signals, right? But I'll just focus on one because I could talk all day on the 10, right? We have one called net option sentiment. And that's a really interesting story because a lot of what I think is unique about us is this co-evolution of starting with advanced back-end algorithms that, I did AI as a service for 8 years, literally institutional grade algorithms, and then figuring out a way to turn them into an actual useful concept. And we're actually been around for 6 years. We're on V4 of our app. This was made by a former creative director at Apple. So we're really that concept simplification and kind of back end power is there, but it was actually invented because I used to teach. I mean, I still teach a lot of people how to invest one on one. That's one of the things that helps us with our products and I learned and I used to teach a lot of people options chains. And one day it was a Friday afternoon. I was frustrated. I was trying to teach someone an options chain, and I was like, "What if I just told you the options market's like this or didn't like this?" And that person was like, "Yeah, it would be way easier if you could tell me that. We'd be wasting time." So I was like, "Great." And that's how our most powerful signal was invented. I was like, okay, I have a lot of these algorithms that are more focused on looking at what institutions are doing and visualizing that, not necessarily predicting price. And so we have a really representative number there that's quite informative. And that's gotten people, one of our most famous case studies was Alibaba in 2022, 2023, where we got people out in front of two major news events. We kind of saw them happening before they happened. This year, probably the newsletter that I'm most proud of was on March 30th. It was called Don't Trim the Hedges. And we were basically teaching people how to use inverse ETFs to hedge their, pure long risk. Obviously I see you nodding, that Liberation Day and kind of a huge market downturn followed that. But we were out in front of that because our market level SPY, QQQ, net option sentiment readings were at the floor. So that's what enabled us to, basically help people in that way. So even just that one signal of the 10 is super helpful, but a lot of the other ones are, simplifying concepts, like we have a dark pool rating, for example. A lot of people like know that word, but have no idea what that means. And similar to the options rating, it's just like, hey, you can use this number. You don't necessarily have to understand everything behind it.